welcome to my channel. We're going to be watching the Love After Lockup Season 3, Episode 12. Love After Lockup, Like After Lockup. The name of this episode is Put a Sweater On and Chill. So we're just going to watch the video together, and I'm going to be giving you my commentary. So let's go. Let's watch it together. It starts out with the commercial, so I'm just going to fast forward to current happening. All right, let's go. Here we go.
Her sister's her. What she know is Mormon. Hopefully we hooked it up right. I think Dulo wants to come, but I'm not sure how.
So the episode starts out with Tennyson and Lamar in the backyard putting together a pool because Tennyson is supposed to be baptizing Priscilla. And right away, what I just want to say is that Tennyson is just
like
such...
I teach Sunday school.
Tennyson is just such a well-rounded young man. I mean, that young man has got his stuff together, baby. You hear me? He got his stuff together. And the thing is that he really compliments Lamar. Lamar really compliments him. The whole family dynamic, the way that Lamar is able to be 100% his total and complete self is just phenomenal. He is completely in touch with who he is, as is Tennyson. I do feel that the family overall, with them being Mormon and them moving around and everything, they just really complement each other well. So let's jump back in.
Happened. Man, that's crazy.
So they were putting a pool together, but the pool blew up. So like I mentioned, I feel like the family really complements each other well, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a second.
Yeah. Let's call your mom and say, Dad, the damn pool blew up. The pool blew up? It popped. Priscilla gotta get baptized and it's full of water, or it's not gonna count. It ain't. How you gonna get baptized without water in the pool?
So if you see what I mean, Lamar is being completely his full and total self. Whereas, hold on, let's see this part.
The thing popped. First, me and Tennis, we was out here. It was blowing up good. And then I told Tennis, I said, I need to go in the house, use the bathroom.
I'm gonna stop you right here. Who goes and plays the pool, then goes in the house?
I had to use the bathroom.
Lamar.
I could have pissed right there in the corner.
Lamar. But what Satan say, go in the house. You don't understand what Satan like. Lamar, go in the house. Lamar, go in the house. No pool, no baptism. I think you did this on purpose. You don't want her to get...
So I feel like, you know, this family is the typical reflection in and of the universe, how everything and every person comes together for a reason. Andrea, if you don't already know, has been a Mormon and had moved to Utah, completely out of touch from her culture, completely out of touch from culture at all, and had latched on to the Mormon religion and was raising her kids in that environment quietly, peacefully. Meanwhile, Lamar was incarcerated doing his time and just being himself. If you look at Lamar, you can see he still has that D-boy swag. Like, he's completely... Let me pause before we get to this couple. But Lamar still has that... Actually, let me rewind it a little bit. If you can see, Lamar still has that kind of D-boy swagger. You know what I mean? But it's just who he is. He obviously, after doing all that time, he obviously has his head on straight. But he's very in touch with who he is, and he's comfortable with that. He likes wearing his hat to the back. It's all good with him. Andrea battles with being herself and trying to live up to the standards of the Mormon church, and the compliment just flows very well because Lamar is a reflection of the core, total, authentic self, and Andrea is the reflection of the highest self in a sense, not because she's a Mormon, but just because of the battle that one has in trying to be their highest self. She feels that being a Mormon and all of their beliefs is being the highest self. So the dynamic really comes together for a really healthy environment, actually. And we'll get back to them later as they return.
I don't want her to get
I didn't
baptized.
do it on purpose.
No, you
Look.
did do it on purpose. You don't want
why
her to
you
get
just sweating
baptized.
me? Like, I really don't.
She can't get baptized because of you.
And like he said, he really doesn't want his daughter to get baptized because he's not. When you've arrived, you are not with all the religion aspects. When you have arrived, you're just not here for it. You're just not here for worshiping what someone else has decided or interpreted as what God wants from us. It just doesn't work that way when you have arrived. But he's just being a compliment to the family. He knows that his woman thinks it's the right thing for their child, and so he obliges. He'd rather not be absent for the ceremony than be in his feelings about it. And to me, that is a really good reflection that he has evolved and has reached a state of self-actualization where he can set his own needs aside for the betterment, especially of his child. And even if it's not the best thing to do, but just for the betterment of the ceremony right now, since him and his wife can't come to an agreement as to how they're going to do it, just him being able to submit, if you will, in that way is a real healthy dynamic.
Your daughter is going to hell
Say less.
because of you. If Priscilla don't get baptized today, I'm going back to Utah if you don't get this fixed. Because that shows me that we're not priority in your life.
Whatever,
And
man.
you can't get things ready for our...
Now, Andrea, on the other hand, extremely confrontational. And hey, I'm not judging her, but she obviously has not arrived. In her mind, everything that's in alignment with the Mormon church is all that there is. And giving her husband these ultimatums and walking behind him screaming and nagging about how they're going to leave if not, it's just not a healthy thing to do. You just never want to be the person that forces someone to do things the way you want. People really need to understand that it's so important just to allow people to be who they are.
Out here.
Whatever, bro.
Don't walk away. Lamar.
I'm done.
So then next up, we go to Sean, and I think her name is Lacey. Yeah, Shane and Lacey. Now this dynamic is
Me and my husband want to find out if it's one or two together.
Okay. And
like,
this
I'm
is
gonna get her to
crazy
print out
right
a
here.
picture.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I implanted 2 embryos, so we have a better chance at having a baby. We don't have the money to do IVF more than one time.
You're 5 weeks and 5 days today, so it's still really early.
Coming up as a child, I had a very rough past with me and my family. My mom, she was a drug addict. My dad was locked in prison. Basically, I got casted away. I didn't grow up around any.
So it's very telling the way his description is. Like he said, basically he got casted away. I mean, those are very telling words. So in other words, what I hear him saying is that I'm desperate for this relationship. I'm desperate for this family. I'm desperate for this love. I need all this right here.
In my blood. So I didn't have anything that was a part of me. And that's why it's so special to me to have my own child. And now I'm going to be a father, and I'm anxious.
And you just heard him say he didn't have anything that's a part of him. He's so desperate to have his own child. And that's a common thing that a lot of humans resort to. When family has left them or they've been betrayed all their life, they haven't received the love they need, they attempt to recreate everything they want in creating a child. And I don't have any judgment towards that, but it just is what it is. And I just think it's a really strange and profound way that humans do that. They actually just recreate and create their own family, literally. Create children so that they can have someone to love, so that they can have love back. The problem is when you're not completely ready, this creation of creating family and children, it turns out as kind of just winging it, and a lot of trauma can happen when things are done that way.
I'm nervous. I just want one healthy baby. That's all I want, and I'll be happy. But if there's 2, I'll still be happy regardless.
And Shane also strikes me as the kind of person who really feels like having a child with Lacey would kind of make their relationship and solidify them and mold them together. And I think that's one thing that humans need to get away from doing. Having children does not make a relationship. A relationship is not optimized because of children. Usually, anyway. Or I would say as the sole purpose. Sometimes if there's a really healthy relationship and they bring a child into that situation and everything just really goes through the roof, they're just like a dynamic love. But I don't see that for someone who's just still trying to figure out who they are, still trying to get on their feet, still trying to find their own way, still trying to work out all the trauma and sadness that they've experienced.
So, sweetie, you haven't had any spotting?
No.
Okay.
What would happen if I were to start bleeding?
Well,
Lacey, on the other hand, and I feel kind of bad in saying this about her, but Lacey strikes me as a person who just really doesn't take accountability. She just kind of goes through life head first, and I'm just going to do what I want, and I know I'm going to be all right. And there's a lot of good to that. I'm going to take life on. I'm going to just do it. And however it turns out, hey, that's how it turns out. But there's been times in watching this show that I just felt real sad for the kids. Like, God, they got these two different men around them. She's just all like acting out in violence still, just a very immature mother, and then brings another guy into the home, and when that doesn't work out, kicks him out and brings the other guy back. It's just like, come on, really, how can you really honestly have respect for your kids if you're doing that? It's just a recipe for confusion and disaster, and I just kind of want her to be more of a woman, if that makes sense. No shade.
Be completely devastated.
yeah, I'll see you in a little bit.
Your children are done with you. We are leaving you behind.
Really? You teenage.
Now this situation,
Took my debit card, you went Speedy Mart, and you took out $125.
Not top normal.
Can you not steal from me? I can't deal with her.
What are you high right now? Look at your pupils are pinned, Mom.
I was sound asleep on
this
the
is
couch.
so sad to
Yeah,
me.
because you're coming down from whatever you did
I ain't
yesterday.
down nothing, Brittany. I ain't on drugs.
You're doing pills, which is drugs. You're doing synthetic heroin. What the do you think you're...
You guys are so stupid.
I'm stupid.
Pain man, it's not synthetic heroin.
Look at you.
What? Why do you always assume someone's on drugs? I
Because
was in a
people
deep-
that are so...
Oh no.
Go and steal...
She said you always assume someone's on drugs. Well, honey boo, I ain't gonna lie, your nose all ate up. I mean, either a lighter in your face end up burning your nose, or you've been snorting some stuff that just got your stuff all the way ate up.
Care more about her feelings for once in your life than you do your own. You know, I don't stand in judgment of my mother. I know what addiction is. Addiction is real. I used to do anything to get high, and, you know, as sad as that is, it's true. And it wasn't...
So, for this, I really like this character. I really like her. This family, her right here. I can't remember her name in this second. I really like her, but this wasn't it, honey. This was not it. Putting your mother on blast like this is what you don't do. I really strongly feel that no matter the question, love is the answer. Addiction is a horrible, horrible thing. But public shaming people, that's just not it. I really feel that does more harm than good. And some might argue and say, well, no, it was, if I hadn't had this intervention where I had to be completely shamed and this and that, I would have never changed or whatever. I just, you know, maybe it works for some people, but I just don't agree with that at all. There is nothing good about putting a mother on blast, embarrassing her, and showing everyone that she's a drug addict again. Not only that, it's just never a good thing to not respect your mother, no matter what. I know people who've had parents on drugs, and guess what? You don't cuss at them. You just don't. You know, love doesn't do that. You always respect. There are certain people who are due honor, and what that means is that they don't have to do anything special, or they don't have to be good or bad for you to treat them a certain way. They are just due honor because they are who they are. And in this situation, this is her mother. She is due honor. Whatever decisions she makes, she is due honor. And people might argue with that, like, no, how are you going to respect the person who's doing this and that? And when I see her cry, I know that she's probably torn. Let's hear what she's saying.
I'm just tired of this. I'm just sad, like,
So granted, I believe that she just really is tired, but that just still is not the way that you go about it.
I just wanted her to be there for me. I just wanted her to believe in me. I just wanted her to spend time with me.
So she's angry.
I'm scared that she's never gonna change.
She's
and if
afraid.
if she never changes, then
I'm
never ever gonna have that relationship with her that I've always wanted.
And see, this is what it boils down to, folks. In the universe, all there is love and fear. So really, if you heard what she said, she's scared that she's not going to have the relationship that she always wanted. And this is what people need to get in their head. When you love someone, it simply just ain't all about you. Love doesn't work that way. It's not about you. It's not about you. Your mother has things that she's dealing with too. Yes, she couldn't be there for you. She was only working with the tools she had. And the sooner that people understand this in life, the better off they'll be. Now, here go my two favorites. This is my girl right here.
What you got going on here?
I love Angela, but
Come
let's
up with
see
a new
about
way to
this.
make a stew. You think we could step inside and talk? Come on in. Well, you got a lot going on in here. Very cool.
So, Tony, what's going on, man?
I guess I should get right to it. You know, I up with Angela big time. And I'm miserable without her. I really am.
I don't know what to tell you, Tony. I mean, why are you coming to me?
I really like to get Angela back. I mean, you know her better than anybody. It's pretty hard for me to go to Tommy for advice because we haven't had the best relationship. But I really want to get Angela back, and if it means I need to get advice from Tommy, who's known her for years, that's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know what you're wanting me to do. I mean, you brought this on yourself, you know?
I did.
I feel real bad for the other guy, the older guy, because he's really in love with Angela, and she just will not give him the time of day. And when I look at him, you can tell what it is that she doesn't see. It's that he looks nerdy, he's older, he's calm, collected. But in actuality, I don't really see that. I see that he's a really good man. I hate to say this, and this is completely alleged, but I often wonder, no, I won't even say that, but I often wonder what really goes on behind the scenes intimately between all these parties. I'll leave it there.
Hey, I could help you, Tony. There's something wrong with you, man. You need to realize that. I'm sick of what you do, Tony. I'm sick of watching you use her and hurt her and get your way with everything, man.
Man, you need to quit raising your damn voice to me, bro.
Man, sit back down here. Sit down.
Tony, like, ain't no punks over here. And I use that word not as a derogatory name, but as in meaning the other word that it means that a person who's afraid or scared or timid.
Talking to Angie the whole time you've been with her. She started talking to him before she started talking to you. She told me that there's a spark with him.
No, that, man. That's my wife.
Tony, you're not married to Angie, okay?
She told me.
She doesn't want you.
No, that's bull, man.
Tony, you messed up for your last time. It's caught up with you. You're not wanted.
You have to feel a sense of gratification when somebody's being cheated on, dogged out, and dealing with someone who kept putting them on the back burner. You have to feel a sense of gratitude seeing him kind of grapple and want this relationship now that he just completely discarded it.
Angela.
But overall, oh, that was scary. I don't know what that commercial was. But overall, the dynamic with Tony and Angela is just one that just really speaks to total dysfunction in relationships. No one should ever put up with someone who doesn't choose them right away. And spoken too soon.
Hold up.
Yo,
Hold up.
yo, Mike.
I'm finna see my kids.
Bro, you're
not
not
about
gonna be
it.
disrespectful in
It's
there,
not
bro.
about it.
You got all these people up in there right now, bro. Now I can go get him and you can meet him out here respectfully.
I'm not meeting
You ain't
him.
coming at him like that.
Okay, mama.
This is real interesting right here.
Do you have a problem with me being here?
I don't have a
'Cause I'm not
problem
gonna interrupt
with
her
my
birthday.
daughter's father being at her
I'm not
birthday.
gonna interrupt it. I'm trying to minimize bullshit on my end. But now she got a new...
So there you have it right there. He just right away said, I'm not going to interrupt her birthday. I'm not going to interrupt it. But if you see it from the angle I see it, it seems like Sarah really needed him to be upset about her having a boyfriend. Michael actually seemed pretty mature. If you see him come in the door, he has tons of gifts, tons. He actually seems pretty mature, like, okay. But I think Sarah was actually disappointed that he wasn't showing emotion, because Michael, that's the thing that I noticed about him. He is like a wall. He is a completely emotionless being. It seems from this view from TV, it seems that he's really has some deep, way too deep trauma. And he doesn't show emotions. He doesn't deal with things properly. He's just kind of like tapped out of it all. And I think that she needed him to show that he was angry, and not just so that she could feel gratified because she made him a little jealous in having a boyfriend, but I think deep down, subconsciously, she understands him in a way so deep that she knows that he just doesn't have emotion, and she just wants him to feel. But sometimes when you've had such a hard life in prison and absent parents and trying to grow up and trying to be the guy in the neighborhood, trying to be the good brother, the good son, and dealing with your own trauma and dealing with just who can imagine, sometimes that leaves a person just completely like, I just need to make sure I'm alive today and I don't want to think about or care about anything else. And is that selfish? Absolutely. But it's also a mental disorder. So let's see what happens.
boyfriend that she want me to meet him, and he's at our daughter's first birthday party. Like, it's just hypocritical.
There's Daddy. You happy to see Daddy?
I was actually happy to see that he showed up for his kids.
And now this guy, he really has his head on straight. And that's why, like I was saying about with the relationship of Lamar and Andrea, it just seems that the way that the universe puts people in our lives, this guy is a complete and total just mind screw all his own, but in a good way. He really has his head on straight. He's really thinking about the mature thing. He really understands how much and how important family is. He really understands how much children need their real father around. He is a really healthy guy, and I don't know if Sarah really is mature enough to appreciate that. I think she more just kind of wanted to latch on to him, to not be alone, to have her needs met, and also to try to make to try to make Michael jealous.
And he should do that more often. I hope we could, like, meet officially. You know, if you should introduce yourself to me, and I will do the same.
Listen, my plan is to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right? That's if mommy let me. I don't.
Now that right there, I really dislike that. So he tells his daughter, my plan is to see you tomorrow. That's if mommy lets me. And see, this is what I hate about dysfunctional families and family relationships, when the kids have to understand and have to have that choice and choose. So if he doesn't see her tomorrow, then in her mind, she's going to know my mommy wouldn't let my daddy see me. And what is that going to manifest as when she turns about 16 years old? And is that going to be you know, turn into one of those wild teens who hates their mother? Or is that a stretch? But you never know, because it's not a game. Rearing children, rearing humans is not a game.
Care about the guy that Sarah's dating. He don't have nothing to do with my kids. He really sent my.
And there he goes right there. Let's rewind that a little bit. He says straight up, I don't care about the guy Sarah's dating. He doesn't. Sarah just really needs Michael to feel for her. That's what this is about. But he's like tapped out, and that's not a good thing. It's like he's been done. He's just kind of tapped out.
My plan is to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right? That's if mommy let me. I don't care about the guy that Sarah's dating. He don't have nothing to do with my kids. He really semi-irrelevant, but he can play goofy if he want to. I love you. Go get to the
I'm gonna play with the kids.
Let me see her for a second.
Okay.
You get her right back.
Okay.
It's that mama. Happy birthday.
How sweet.
I love you.
Did he, did Michael say anything to you?
No.
All right.
Whenever he...
And see, it's not the time and the place. And do I feel sorry for him? Not really. Because you need to grow up. You know, you got to be stronger than the pain. And this almost makes me want to cry to say, but you got to choose love. You got to do the right thing, even when it's hard. You know, and that is sad. When I look at him right here, it's so many men who are absent just because they don't know how to deal with their own stuff. They don't know how to hold down a job. They don't know how to be monogamous. They don't know how to be and do what they never had and never experienced. And they're just winging it. But the love and the strength comes from when you just do it anyway. That's why this is a weakness. It's not for the weak. And people need to understand that. Being a human is not for the weak. Being a father is not for the weak. You can't tap out. You got to stay there even when it's ugly. You got to stay there even when you can't afford the fresh shoes. You got to stay there even when you can't afford to dress your kids a certain way. You got to stay there even when you're not feeling someone telling you this and that. You got to step up to the plate. You got to be there. And that's it. You just got to be there. You can't let all the tension from, like, for instance, I couldn't imagine how he feels coming into the birthday party and being around her parents. You know what they probably think of him. And especially for her, she's not the kind of person that can allow people to be who they are. So she has all these expectations and stuff, but you have to be stronger than that. You can't let that get you. You have to just choose love, and your love for your children has to be stronger than that. You have to be like, no, I'm going to be here regardless. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you threaten me. I don't care if you say you're going to take them away. Then fine, let's go to court. They were going to go to court, and then it didn't happen. You just have to stick around, because no judge is going to tell a father that he can't be around their children because he doesn't have a job or because he has another girlfriend. You know, and in previous episodes, that's kind of what Sarah did. She was like, no, I don't want her with that girl, so no, you can't, you're not at liberty to do that. That's not your call. It seems logical because, well, these are my kids. I got to make sure But no, parents have equal rights. You might not be a fan of everything that he does parental wise, but guess what? You don't get to decide because he has that right as a parent. Unless there is some abuse going on, you don't have the right to determine who that child gets to see, how long, or any of that. Granted, he's done nothing, but that just means that then you should have gone to court and set it in stone. Let's watch.
He's ready. I'm here.
I'm gonna talk about it.
You still a baby.
That right there makes me really happy because it's like she knows that's her dad.
And you two deserve to have a normal co-parenting situation. And this is a start right here.
I'm just happy to see that the kids are happy that their daddy showed. But at the same time, like, I'm trying to co-parent with somebody who is completely irrational.
And she said at the same time she's trying to co-parent with someone who's completely irrational. I get what she's saying, but she is absolutely and completely irrational because she feels like if you don't do it this way, then no, you can't see your kids. And that couldn't be any further from what a healthy situation could be. So she is also very irrational, but I understand where she's coming from because he's irrational because he feels like, oh, I could just be an absent parent and pop up when I want. Yeah, that's irritating and frustrating, but hey, guess what? He has that right, and if you want him to function more and be more present, then you need to take it to court and say so, or make a judge declare that he has to pay. But you don't get to just run the program just because he's not being who you want. He's been trash. I hate to say that. He's been complete trash as a father. There's no excuse for that. It's not for the weak. He needs to step up. But she cannot continue to feel like she has governance over what goes on. Even though the kids are with her 100% of the time. Either you strip those parental rights or I don't know. I think it's strange how when they showed her family's face, they kind of had like little smirks where they get a kick out of it because they understand that the baby doesn't even know him. And yeah, I bet they're pissed. Like, you put not one but two kids up in her and you're just not going to do anything? Yeah. But like I said, it's not for the weak. The crying, I'm pretty sure his heart got to pumping. I'm pretty sure he felt like trash. And then he's on camera too. I'm pretty sure he was embarrassed. But guess what? It's not for the weak. You have to go through it. You have to turn that pain into the power. You have to let that be your motivation. Your baby screaming and crying because she doesn't know you. Guess what? Hold on to her butt the rest of the night. Hold that baby, love that baby, stick around that baby. If she doesn't want to be held by you, put her down, let her go to her mom, and stay there. Let your presence be there. Don't let anyone stop you. It is not for the weak. You have to be strong.
You got it.
So Michael came in, maybe 20 minutes or so, dropped off some presents.
Where's he going? Where's who going?
So he couldn't handle it. He probably wanted to fall out and cry right there. But see, this is a self-sabotaging thing. Look at what you're doing. You're walking away. It's not for the weak, brother. This is not for the weak. You got to stay around. And I wish I could say this to every father in America who's absent. You got to stay around. You have to be there. Even when it's like this. I would hate that situation, but guess what? If you stick around, you can prevent these kind of situations from happening. He's dropped into this situation. Why? Because she's been having the kids. She's planned the party. And she decided who's coming, who to invite. Yeah, because you're absent. So when you show up, yeah, it's not going to go your way. And that's an element of narcissism too, because narcissists need things to go as they vision, but you can't. There's steps that lead up to that. So now you walking away is just a complete weakness. You forfeit that opportunity. So what if a baby cries? You're the father. Don't let that be your deterrent. She's in there with her boyfriend. The baby's crying because it doesn't know you. Everybody's looking at you sideways. Be strong, brother, and be like, that's all right. I'm here. And I'm going to be here. And yeah, I was a deadbeat for the last few times, but guess what? I'm here, and this is day one. That's how you should have looked at it instead of walking away.
And then he ended up leaving without saying goodbye to anybody, even his own kids. Just took off.
He just walked out?
Go ahead.
Typical Michael.
Mike, why did you walk out?
I'm finna go. I don't want no parts of that.
Can you actually...
And so, see, I can imagine that he might have probably almost been on the verge of tears. So, and if she can't understand, Mike, why did you walk out? It's like, girl, you can't see this guy doesn't know how to handle emotions. You know? And it's like you punish him by charging him with all these emotions. You got him, your family all there, your boyfriend. You trying to pull emotions out of him, and he's still not going to show them. And that's what she's trying to catch up to. Like, am I going to get to see some emotion? No, you're not. Just a little bit of anger, but that's it, because he's been dismissive all this time. He doesn't know how to handle this stuff. What did his father do? His father was absent. His father walked away. And what is he learning and has learned to do? It gets tough, I'm going to just walk away.
If we're going to have a conversation, why can't
It's
I
your
rebuttal?
child's first birthday.
Okay.
You allowed it to not be about rain.
It's a...
And that's true. He has a lot of point to that. Like he said, even while he was holding Rain, she's talking to her boyfriend and they're pointing at him. How would anybody feel? She's trying to get a rise out of him. She did try to make it about their dynamic. And he was smart enough to know that.
About Rain.
On her birth, come on, girl. I can't. Listen, regardless if you moving on or whatever, but to try it like that.
So that shows right there. He's saying it, regardless if you moving on or whatever. But you're like trying to put this situation in my face, trying to get a rise out of me. That's not gonna work. I feel uncomfortable with that. That's basically what he's saying. She needed him to be jealous, and he just wasn't. He already kind of like accepted it. He's been screwing Maria, this other chick, and whoever else. He's completely unattached. He's an emotionless guy. He doesn't deal with relationships well. That means nothing to him, really, for the most part, you know. But she needs him to be jealous, and he's telling her right there, regardless if you moving on or whatever.
It's about seeing the that you with. What about this little?
And he's right. He said it's not about her birthday. This was about seeing the beep that you're messing with. And I agree. It wasn't about her birthday. You made this about, let me show you I got a new man at your daughter's birthday. And I agree with him. I have to say that is what happened. That is what I witnessed as well. Despite that he's a complete deadbeat, you don't get a pass for that, Michael. But he's on target. He knows. He knows the game.
Oh, girl, right?
If you care that much about her, where the you been?
Right, Mom.
Where the you been?
Now when I push the button.
You saw her 4 times in a damn year.
Okay, no.
If it was about Rain, you wouldn't leave.
Listen, I don't care about that. It's about you choosing today on her first birthday.
You did. I already had it set up to where y'all would have known and met outside of her party.
So it's just a mess. It's just a mess. And these kids are in the middle of this. They're outside screaming and hollering.
I didn't know you were coming until 3 minutes.
I've been told you. I don't give a about you wedding.
Respectful. I'm done.
Right.
Don't contact me no more, bro. Just remember, you walked out because you can't grow the up. You a piece of bro.
What's up, cuz? I don't know how Dulo can show his face. Dulo's here.
Can we have...
And I was going to say, yes, she did have a point there, too. You walked out because you can't grow up. It's true. Regardless of all the madness and stuff that she's doing, yeah, you need to be there. You need to stick around.
Can we talk for a minute?
Yeah.
Now those purple curtains, I have to say, those purple curtains in that kitchen just go, girl.
Yeah.
I love Marcelino. He's so handsome. He's such a boss of a man.
Since being in prison and since whatever, like I've really enjoyed spending time with you,
We missed
Kayla,
out on
Alex.
7, 8, 9 years together.
Exactly, and now I feel like, we're getting that time back, and
Yeah.
I don't want the with Mom to ruin that, but the situation with Mom,
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it, but I do feel good about us respecting our boundaries, you know? That I do feel good about. You can't go back home, and I hope you know that.
I do. I like the idea of going home to Alaska for a little while, but at the same time, I don't know what I will do with all my my furniture and my pets, and I don't want to break my lease or have an eviction on my shoulders, you know?
Now, can you imagine?
I carry around 4 felonies on my record.
Can you imagine what this young lady is going through? She's sending her to, I think she said Alaska or something with her dad. I mean, this is just her life. Can you imagine her sister's been completely absent and she has to witness this from her mom, and then the way that her sister is handling it is completely a dysfunctional way, you know? And then her sister's a completely different person. She's trying to have a relationship with, I mean, I really want to get to know her. This is who I want to see. I want to hear more from her. I want her to have her show. I want to hear her story, because this is the strength of it all. She's the strong one.
So I know what it feels like to carry things around. You know, the furniture, you can always buy more stuff, but what you can't get back is your independence you have breaking free from mother. My biggest concern if my sister stays here in Las Vegas is that she will eventually get manipulated into going back with mom. Like, she just turned 21, and so I want her to just respect her own boundaries. I feel like the best way for her to do that.
That really scares me, that she will eventually get manipulated into going back with mom. That just doesn't feel right to me. I know she feels like her mom is trash or what have you, but like I mentioned earlier, no matter the question, love is the answer. And I'm not saying anyone should be a codependent or anything like that, but I don't think it's exactly the right move. The mom stealing from the daughter, yeah, that was completely devastating and wrong. That goes with that kind of lifestyle. But I don't think that, oh my God, I don't know why I can't remember her name for this episode, and she's one of my favorites on this show. But I don't know why
to go home for a little while.
she feels like she can tell her this. I don't think that she is mentally healthy enough at this point and educated in these kind of dealings enough to be giving her this kind of advice. I know she seems like the best person to get advice, but what I would have rather seen her do was get some professional help involved, because the advisory she's trying to give in dealing with these old traumas, see, that was a trigger for her because she's already been through this with her mom. So it's a trigger. It's very much a conflict of interest. These people need professional help. The advice she's trying to give her just based on what she feels is the best thing to do, I don't think that's right. I think she needs to, if she really wants to help her sister, needs to plug her into some professional help, like a professional, like a clinical social worker or a psychologist, or both. Definitely both.
To Alaska. We got to let mom worry about her now. That's the whole point of this is mom needs to take care of herself for the first time in her entire life. But if she's
I have very little hope that she will change. I feel like it's going to take her a lot longer than you think it's going to be if it happens.
I don't think she's going to change overnight. She's been like this for almost 50 years. She's been fighting these demons her entire life. She doesn't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
She has to learn. And now it's your turn to live your life, you know?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. You just basically told me, like, get on with myself, leave all this behind. Like, it's your turn to live your life. Why? Why should she have to leave and go that far? Like, it just doesn't feel right. And I feel like, why can't I remember her name? But I feel like her sister, the older one giving the advice, the main character in the show, she seems pretty detached to me, even though she cried a lot and everything, but she seems pretty kind of like detached, like, I'm just gonna send you off to dad. And you know, why can't she stay around and be a part of you guys' family? You know, that would have been more logical. I'm going to be here for you. We'll be here for each other. It's okay. You got me. We got each other. But it's kind of like, no. And which is a good thing because people do need to be able to not take on other people's stuff. And people do need to be able to move on. And I get that. But I just really feel for this young girl. She just, I mean, I just don't feel like that was the best solution. But hey, you know, granted they're all working with just the tools they have, but if you listen to her emotions and see her face, you could just feel that she's just like traumatized by this whole thing.
It's gonna be if it happens.
I don't think she's gonna change overnight. She's been like this for almost 50 years. She's been fighting these demons her entire life. She doesn't know any different. She has to learn. And now it's your turn to live your life, you know?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I don't know.
You do know.
No, she doesn't.
I don't like talking about Mom because she sucks. Honestly, she's not sorry for what she did. She's sorry that she got caught doing it. I feel angry talking about her because she makes me angry and then I get teary-eyed.
You think talking about Mom makes you mad?
And see, this is exactly what I meant when I said there needs to be a professional here. She says she doesn't like talking about Mom. She's absolutely traumatized.
It makes you sad. And it should.
Sad and
that's okay.
angry.
We're breaking that
She's
cycle.
traumatized.
And that's what's important.
Now that made sense.
I am 100% convinced that if my mother does not hit rock bottom, and that means not having anybody to turn to or depend on, then she's not going to change.
And see, and that's what a lot of people believe and where a lot of people can be sadly mistaken. I'm not saying everyone is, but that's where a lot of people can be sadly mistaken. Because as I mentioned before, no matter the question, love is actually the answer.
Nicole has a soft spot for our mother, just like I do. I'm scared that...
No, she's a real human and she understands. See, the further you evolve, the more you depend and understand that love is the answer. So she should honor that. If she feels like she shouldn't just walk away, no, absolutely don't become or be a codependent, but allow people to handle others the way that they see fit and get professionals involved.
This will all be for nothing if she goes back with my mom.
And see, and she'll eat those words. If her mom commits suicide or something 3 days after she does that, she'll eat those words, you know? And I understand that she feels like maybe that's the best fit scenario, but that's why you just allow people to be who they are. Allow her mom to be a dope fiend. And I'm not saying, yeah, help her and enable her and give her money to get high with and all that. No. But just understand that that's who she is. You know, so what do? When you have a dope fiend in the family around, what do? You set boundaries and you don't let them be crossed. But you don't have to punish them. You don't have to feel like you're the disciplinarian to discipline them. You don't have to isolate them and try to make them feel bad. All you have to do is just be. Just let her mom, if she's on drugs, hey, that's who she is. She's a dope fiend. So, no, you can't borrow any money. No, you can't sleep here on these days because, no, I can't have you in the house because you might take something or this and that. But, hey, I could come to you wherever you at. I can come to you under the bridge and give you a hug and spend the day with you, bring you some food and something maybe and let you know I love you. But, yeah, when you're in that space, we can't do certain things and certain things can't happen. But no, I don't need to come to your house, cuss you out, isolate you, and punish you and try to discipline you, make you be alone to hit rock bottom. No, that doesn't work for everybody. And that couldn't be more further for the truth. So whoever you are, if you're watching this, no. You can allow people to be who they are, even if they choose to be a dope fiend. Because guess what? We all choose who we want to be because we have the power to create. So if someone in our life is a dope fiend, you can still love them. It's okay. That's who they are. Does that mean that you let them hold on to your jewelry box? while you use the bathroom? Absolutely not. You treat them accordingly to their behavior, but you don't punish. You just use love. And you can tell them, like, hey, I can't let you hold my jewelry box because you're on drugs and you know how you do. But hey, I could take you to lunch if you want to go, or I'll come meet you. Where are you staying at? You're staying under the bridge, under 34th Street? Okay, I'll come over there. I'll bring you some lunch maybe tomorrow or Wednesday and just come say hi. That's okay to do. That's better than isolating and punishing someone. Allow them to be who they are. And that's usually an easier way to get people to evolve faster when they understand that, guess what? You don't have to be fabulous for me to love you. You don't have to be sober for me to love you. You don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be smart for me to love you. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. I just love you. That's it. That's what usually delivers people out of their situation. So you can say, I just love you as you are. And I'll make sure I come visit you and be with you, but I can't have you coming over if you're, when you're all dirty and high and looking that way. I can't do that in front of the kids. I'm not going to do that to them. But I could bring them maybe on Saturday, and maybe you could get a chance and make sure you wash up on Saturday morning. I could meet you, like we could act like we ran into you at the gas station so you could see the grandkids. You want to do that? Sure. Okay, let's do that. You have to get clever about it, but you don't need to punish. And you don't need to judge and hurt.
You know that I love you, and I don't like to see you crying or I've got mascara on your white.
That's so funny because that's always a worry of mine. I wear makeup, and when I give people a hug, it's like, oh, I got makeup on your shirt, or I got eyeliner on your collar. So her mascara must have been on pretty well though, because I couldn't tell. I love to glue mine on.
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah.
So take a look at this.
Okay. Stop scooting. Okay. I'm so nervous right now. I'm shaking.
Jesus.
Rather than just give you these pictures, I think that some explanation is going to be needed, okay? Firstly, I want you to remember that you're very, very early in the pregnancy, okay? You're 5 weeks and 5 days. Mm-hmm. This is the very earliest time that we would expect to be able to even see heart motion, okay?
Okay, open it. What are you waiting on? Open it.
Oh my God. Okay, so this was not expected. Oh my God. Okay, so remember how we talked about just transferring one embryo?
What?
There's 3 babies.
Twins and another baby. They about to have triplets. There's a set of twins and a separate embryo. Woo! 3 kids. So they about to be the Brady Bunch around this thing.
Holy.
Okay, yes. So, sweetheart, remember how I talked about the recommendation is to transfer 1, but you wanted to transfer 2. Very infrequently do both of them implant and any split. Right now, what?
It's been said, though, I've heard people say that they're cheaper by the dozen. But this was crazy. When I saw this, I said, they're going to have 6 kids. Oh, my God. But it's a beautiful thing, because guess what? Having children is the most natural thing that anyone can do. And even though they're not the healthiest family, and even though there's potential for them to like really get it wrong and they got a lot of drama going on, this is what humans are here for, partially. To create, to build family, to love, to create more love, to be loved. This is what we're here to do. So as much as we want to judge them and be like, they are not ready for that, because there's a whole lot of truth in that. She needs to grow up. a whole lot more. I know she's a grown A woman, but she got a distance to go. And he definitely does as well. Will this grow them? Probably, but they would have grown better alone too. But nothing's a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. Everything is by design. We create. And so it's very interesting to see this family go through this. This is going to be, this will definitely turn into a spin-off show for them. This is definitely going to ensure that they have a show going on. I bet you this is going to be like Kate plus 8 or whatever the show was, or Octomom. Like, they're not going to have anything to worry about. Not with all those kids. They're going to have so much support from left and right. And there's a saying, I think Tupac said it, when you can't afford nothing, then everything's free. Because that's just how it works. You struggle and strive, and when you can't afford nothing, then everything's free. So let's hear what Shane has to say.
Oh my God.
Let me rewind it a little bit to hear what Shane said.
This financially supporting 6 children is just crazy. Like,
Yeah,
that is
girl.
insane. I can't even talk.
Okay, now we have to wait, and over the next few weeks, we're going to see how many progress. If they all progress, then you will have a triplet pregnancy.
What are the chances of all of them progressing?
It's really too early to say. We just have to wait and see, okay?
I think they would probably at least have twins.
Okay.
But you never know. The human body is an amazing place.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm extremely happy
She probably would
that
just
we are
really
pregnant,
need to take
but
it easy.
at the
'Cause
same
3
time,
kids, that has
it's
to be
very
really
tense
taxing on the body.
finding out that she's pregnant with 3 because there is really high health risk. We can end up losing the twins, or we can end up losing all 3 of them. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I'm baffled. Like, I'm stunned.
Me too.
I'm so shocked right now.
You know they gonna have some good that night.
You just forced my hand because you brought somebody around my kids that wasn't supposed to be around.
So we're gonna stop this video here today so I can get this out, but we'll come back with the commentary for the next half later on. Thanks for watching Mind Screw. Please subscribe if you're watching.